Hi, Zackmels here. I just reached 100 subscribers. Thank you all so much. To demonstrate how much that is, here is 100 dots. Each one represents one of you, unless you haven't subscribed. And if so, what are you doing? Subscribe right now. To celebrate this momentous occasion, this video will be going through the 100 best animals out of all vertebrates and invertebrates, extinct and extant, big or small, ranked by how good they are. This list is fact, not just a list of my 100 favourite animals, as that would be pointless. Today you will find out what the undeniably best animal that has ever lived is. I will be increasingly adding more detail about each animal, starting from no details. Once you have watched the video, comment which animal you would like me to do a more in-depth video about. Anyway, let's get on with this list, starting at number 100. Zebra, green sea turtle, emu, macaw, Yeti Crab, Japanese Macaque, bush dogs, Sea Otter, Hedgehog, Giant Anteater, Caracal, Basking Shark, Walrus, Wolf Spider, Nautilus, Red Ruffed Lemur. These animals are the largest pollinators. Tiger, the biggest of the big cats. Horse, a key part of human history and also have their own unique prehistory. Donkey, horses but better. Kiwi, not the fruit. Fossa, a Madagascan medium-sized carnivore closely related to mongooses. Flying snake. Unlike other gliding animals, this snake glides by moving its body in a specific shape to trap air. Orca. These are giant aquatic predators the size of elephants. Snow Leopard. These cats live their lives in the most isolated parts of the Himalayan mountains. Tapir, the largest terrestrial mammal of South America. Gibbons, the only small apes. They make many interesting vocalizations. Orchid Mantis. This ambush predator disguises itself as a flower. It can even change its colour. Giraffe. Very, very tall. Gorilla. The most powerful of all the primates. Manatee. Herbivorous aquatic mammals. Sheep. Very fluffy and friendly. Goats. Like sheep, but more angry and cool. Bumblebee. They are very fuzzy and important for our planet. Wombat. These marsupials have pouches facing backwards to protect their young when they dig. Dik-dik. These are the second best antelopes, as seen in my video, Top 5 Antelopes. Dik-diks are small and monogamous. Coatimundi. Intelligent relatives of raccoons that communicate with varying chirps and tail movements. Parasaurolophus. This dinosaur's elaborate crest is theorized to have been used for visual recognition of sex, thermoregulation, or to produce sound. Capybara, the largest and friendliest rodent. Llama, relatives of camels which are adapted to harsh mountains instead of deserts. Moose. Did you know the largest natural predator of the moose is the orca? This is because moose occasionally dive up to 6 meters underwater to feed on aquatic plants. Red Squirrel. These well-adapted tree squirrels are very rare in England and other places in Europe due to invasive grey squirrels. Human. While humans are a major cause of extinction for other animals, I have met many very nice humans, and they are the only species I have been able to hold a long conversation with. I am also a little biased since I am actually a human as well. Then, after humans, at number 59 is Moray Eel. These scary eels have 2 sets of jaws and can be bigger than dolphins. Feral Pigeon. Descended from domestic pigeons. Feral pigeons now live in cities all over the world. In many cases they are invasive species due to bringing disease, but in their hearts all they want to do is have fun. Vampire Bat. Vampires are cool, bats are cool. What's better? Both of them combined, of course. Vampire bats have evolved from fruit bats with specialized sharp teeth for piercing fruits, but vampire bats use these teeth to pierce other animals instead. Okapi, the closest relative to giraffes. They live in jungles, and while they are not as tall as giraffes, this does allow them to be very sneaky. Okapis were unknown to science till 1901. Pangolin. These are not armadillos. Armadillos have a shell. Pangolins have scales. Kakapo, also called owl parrot. This is a nocturnal flightless parrot from New Zealand. Elephant, the largest living land animals. I don't think elephants deserve to be quite this high on the list, just for being tall and clever. I am tall and clever too, but this list is fact, not opinion. Rats, clever, great sense of smell, love cooking. Triceratops, not much to say here, just very cool. Mantis shrimp, not mantises, not shrimps, but way cooler than both of them combined. Simosuchus, this is a relative of crocodiles and alligators, but was smaller, lived on land, and was likely a herbivore. Aardvarks, my last video on this channel was on aardvarks. They are very unique animals. Dog, man's best friend. I have met some very nice dogs, many of them nicer than some people. Cat. Personally, I don't have a preference between dogs and cats, but this list is purely factual, and cats are undeniably better than dogs. Helicoprion. This was a prehistoric fish with a spiraled jaw. Sumatran Rhino, one of the rarest species of rhino. It's the closest related to woolly rhino. They are smaller than other rhinos, and they make many interesting vocalizations. Maned wolf. These weird canines smell like cannabis. Maybe that's just a maned wolf in the school toilets. Chimpanzee. Incredibly intelligent relatives of humans that aren't polluting the planet. Bonobo. These are similar to chimpanzees, but less aggressive. Rook. These clever birds are apparently the best corvid. Wolverine. I saw some wolverines at the zoo last year, and they just look like they are having so much fun. Dinokairos. The name of this dinosaur means horrible hand. No further explanation needed. Babirusa. This pig doesn't have horns. It actually has tusks, which go upwards through its skull. Isn't that cool? Tree kangaroo. Tree? Kangaroo. Dodo. Even though dodos went extinct only 400 years ago, we are still unsure what they look like. The only evidence towards them are skeletal remains, a mummified head, a mummified foot, and a few paintings, the most accurate of which is believed to be this one. Little penguin. It's the smallest and cutest penguin species. These adorable penguins used to be shot for sport. Tardigrade, the smallest animal on this list, at less than 1.5 mm long. They are famous to being able to withstand extreme conditions, such as the vacuum of space, extremely high and low temperatures, and high levels of radiation. Fennec fox, the smallest of the canines. They are the perfect predators for a desert environment. Red fox. While not as specialized as fennec foxes, red foxes are better at surviving in many different environments. Hell pig. Yes, these prehistoric beasts are named hell pigs. They were large, strong, and omnivorous. Polar bear, a giant predator built to withstand the coldest of temperatures. Axolotls. These are neotenic salamanders, which means they keep their juvenile features even when they are sexually mature. Armadillo. These are mammals covered in bony plates. While known to roll into a ball, only 2 of the many species have this ability. Saiga, the best antelope. They are critically endangered and have many interesting adaptations, such as their strange-shaped nose and the long grey coat they grow in winter. However, humans and disease have been rapidly diminishing their population. Bactrian camel, the only land mammal able to drink salt water. These animals can also eat cacti with their tough tongue and sharp teeth. Goblin shark. Sharks that really live up to their name. They look like goblins and live like goblins. They have nail-like teeth and a long pointy nose. Canada Goose. The first animal to feature on this channel, back when I released 30-second clips of random animals with music for a joke. Grey Squirrel. This was originally planned to be the first animal on the channel, but there was an issue with removing the sound. It's a strange coincidence that these two animals are so high on the list. Megalodon. Giant predators that I made a detailed video about before, and the fascinating way they went extinct. Eye. Lemurs with very long fingers. Their third finger is extra thin to create vibrations, and their fourth finger is extra long to grab grubs. Scientists also have recently discovered a sixth finger. How they didn't see this sooner, I don't know. I guess it must have been a really small finger. Fire ants. While infamous for their painful stings, fire ants also have an interesting adaptation for their tropical environment. When fire ants fall in water, they create a raft. The ants serve as the raft itself and the paddlers. Chicken, the domesticated form of red jungle fowl from India. Chickens were actually originally only used for fights, and did not start being eaten until another 5,000 years. Spotted hyena. Male hyenas have a diet of almost just bones, and female hyenas give birth to a pseudopenis. Wow, equality! Both sexes just have terrible lives. T-Rex. While maybe a little overrated, T-Rexes were very cool giant predators. While infamous for its tiny arms, these arms were 3 feet long and appeared to have large muscles on them. 3 main theories are that they were used to hold on to prey, hold on to a mate, or to lift itself off the ground. Komodo dragon. Big fighty lizard. Tree sloths. Slow, small, weak animals found in the Amazon that descended from giant herbivorous browsers. Carnotaurus. Only one fossil of this dinosaur is known, but it's very complete. This dinosaur is known to have not had many feathers, if any. Blue whale. Biggest animal ever. Rabbit. I used to have pet rabbits when I was younger. Rabbits are lagomorphs, not rodents. This means they produce 2 types of feces, one to get rid of waste, and the other for eating. Echidna, one of 2 mammals that lays eggs, the other being platypus. While related to the platypus, the only other feature it shares with platypus is how weird and mismatched it looks. The echidna has a body like a hedgehog and a snout like an aardvark. Baby echidnas are called puggles. Steppe mammoth. Mammoths were like elephants, but cool. The steppe mammoth diverged to become the famous woolly mammoth, which was the size of modern elephants, but covered in hair. The woolly mammoth went extinct only 4,000 years ago. The steppe mammoth also diverged into the Columbian mammoth, which was one of the largest mammoths, being 1 meter taller than modern African elephants. There was also a species of Columbian mammoth which evolved to be much smaller. The pygmy mammoth was not much taller than a human. Naked mole rats. These weird rodents are not actually rats. They live in burrows under deserts and have the ability to move backwards as fast as they can forwards. They are also cold-blooded and immune to cancer. Spinosaurus. This gigantic predator is always having new information discovered about it. Originally thought to be an upright, short-snouted land predator, it is now believed to be a long-snouted, semi-aquatic predator, but walk mostly on all 4s. One of the newest discoveries about Spinosaurus is its paddle-like tail. Who knows what will be discovered about Spinosaurus next? Now onto the top 5. Number 5. Orangutan. These orange apes are found in Indonesia and are known to use large leaves as umbrellas, leaves as bandages, leaves as nests, and many other tools, some not made of leaves. Orangutans are arboreal, which means they spend most of their time in trees, and are the largest animals to do so. Number 4. Quetzalcoatlus. This is a pterosaur, a group of reptiles related to dinosaurs. It is named after an Aztec serpent god. There were many species of Quetzalcoatlus. the largest of which is Quetzalcoatlus northropi. Its species name, northropi, is named after an aircraft company which actually produced planes inspired by this prehistoric beast. As the largest of these Quetzalcoatlus were about the size of a small plane with a wingspan of 10 meters and were believed to have been able to fly. Number 3. Cattle. Considered a sacred animal in many world religions such as Hinduism and Buddhism, and is therefore protected in many Asian countries. This is for a good reason, as cows are the third best animal ever. 10,000 years ago, cattle were domesticated from approximately 80 aurochs, and now there are over 1.5 billion cattle on our planet. Famous cattle include Pauline Wayne, the last presidential cow; Ubre Blanca, a cow who I've made a whole video about; Missy, a cow who was sold for $1.2 million; and Elm Farm Ollie, the first cow to fly an aeroplane. Number 2. Red Panda. These superior pandas are unrelated to the stupid giant pandas. However, they do both have a diet bamboo, and both have individually evolved a false thumb, which is actually an extended wrist bone used to grip bamboo. Red pandas also have extra cute adaptations. They stick out their tongue to detect predators, and they use their fluffy tail to keep warm when sleeping. Next is number 1, the best out of all 5 billion animals, extinct and extant. Before I reveal number 1, let's take a moment to appreciate the billions of animals which haven't gotten onto this list. Number 1. Frog.